Mr. Swafford will be taking pictures. If you wish to purchase a package, you may contact him after the ceremony. We, the 2010 graduating class of Briscoe High School, thank you for your support throughout our school career. At this time, we would ask that all faculty and staff members present please stand so that we can offer our gratitude for all they have helped us achieve.
All four of them stood up?
Let us bow. Our dear Heavenly Father, thank you for this day and all the many blessings. Thank you for this school and the experience we have had here at Briscoe. We are thankful for the education we have acquired and pray that it may help us throughout life and accomplish our goals. Now we ask that you would be with us throughout this day and throughout life. In Christ's name we pray. Amen.
Good afternoon. On behalf of the Board of Education, the faculty, and administration here at Briscoe School, I want to welcome everyone to our graduation ceremony. We thank you for being here to help make this a very special occasion and day for these outstanding young people. While this day is set aside for recognition of these graduates, I know, and the teachers know, everyone in this room knows, that this day wouldn't have come and it wouldn't have been possible if it had not been for the efforts of the parents and the other special people in the lives of these students. There's been 18 years of providing for their needs, basic needs, food, clothes, providing them a home, helping them with homework, following them to ball games, endlessly following them to ball games, supporting them and advising them during all the challenges that they faced as they attempted to grow up, cheering for their successes, and comforting them when they had disappointment. And above all, just loving. Without you, you special people, this day would not have been possible. So graduates, I'd like you and everyone else in the auditorium here today to join me in giving these parents and other special people in the lives of these students a very well-deserved round of applause. For the last couple of years, we've secured former Briscoe High School students who have successfully pursued careers through higher education to be our commencement speakers. This year, I am delighted to announce that Mr. Craig Earnhardt will be our guest speaker. Mr. Earnhardt is a 1987 graduate of Briscoe High School, and while he was here, he was salutatorian of his senior class and an outstanding athlete. He continued his education at Three Rivers Community College and then transferred to Central Missouri State, where he graduated with a Bachelor of Science in Education. Mr. Earnhardt also obtained his Master in Science degree through William Woods University. He began teaching at Gideon High School in 1994 and has been employed there for the past 16 years. He has coached girls softball, junior high basketball, and elementary basketball for 14 years. He is also the Fellowship of Christian Athletes sponsor and became the junior high baseball coach this year. Mr. Earnhardt is married to Vonda Earnhardt, a professional photographer in Gideon, and they reside there in Gideon with their two children, Brooklyn and Alan. He is a member and deacon of the First Southern Baptist Church in Tallapoosa. Please help me welcome home to Briscoe High School, Mr. Craig Earnhardt.
Wow, there's a lot of people out there today. First of all, I'd like to say thank you for the honor and privilege to speak to you today. You, the graduating class of 2010. I'm very honored to be a part of this because in 1987, I stood here on this same stage after completing my K-12 career, much as some of you have. I also feel very privileged because I know many of you graduates personally. Justin, my great nephew, not great because he's great, but great because he's my nephew's boy. Also, Travis Copeland I've had in my classroom at Gideon, and several of you I've seen on the ball field from time to time and through Fellowship of Christian Athletes, and I feel like we have a very good relationship. I feel like I'm back at home. I see many familiar faces out there today. Many of you I attended school with, and I met some of you that I haven't seen since graduation earlier this afternoon. And there's many relatives and friends. Many of you may have been here when I graduated in 1987. I'm not really sure what the credentials are for me to be up here and receive this honor, but whatever they are, I'm pretty sure that I probably fall kind of short of those. And basically the conversation between Sheila and I went something like this. She said, would you be interested in speaking at our graduation? And I said, well, I don't know. She said, well, I called 2 or 3 other people and they couldn't, and then I thought of you. So there you have it, and here I am. So, what Mr. Cross told you several things about me, but what he didn't mention is I'm getting older and I suffer from the onset of Alzheimer's disease and a little bit of ADD, and I get somewhat emotional from time to time. So if you're having a hard time following me today, it's probably because I've bounced from topic to topic, or I've left something out, or I've started crying and you forgot what I was talking about. So just try to stay with me for the next hour and a half or so, and I'll try to tie it all up at the end. I have many fond memories. In fact, when I started thinking about this and coming back to Risco, I thought of all the many good times and the bad times that I've had at this school, and I thought I wanted to share because I think when you trigger that with everyone, all of you will share some of those memories and think of some of your own, and I know you guys are going to be thinking of some of the memories that you have. I remember kindergarten. My sister Charlotte drove me to school every morning, and her and my brother Eddie would argue over who had to walk me, drag me down the hall, because I would get to that corner and start crying every day. And they would drag me down there, and they argued every morning over who was going to have to put up with me. And I don't know that I really hated school, but it was I hated being away from my mama. And so I made it through kindergarten, had about 3 good things that I remember. I remember that little wooden tractor that they had that me and Mark White hauled every recess that we stayed inside, and we pushed each other way too fast and knocked things over and got in trouble all the time. And I remember that we only had to go every other day. That was awesome, because you got to stay home with Mom one day, and then you go to school one day. Some days some weeks you only went to school 2 days. And then there was Miss Bobo. I think everyone remembers Miss Bobo as a good part of their kindergarten here in Frisco. I made it through kindergarten, 1st grade. I cried up till Christmas, and then 2nd grade, almost till Christmas. And by 3rd grade, I only cried for the first couple weeks. And then 4th grade, I didn't cry at all. I was 10 years old, and I finally outgrown that. And who would have thought that I would have spent the rest of my life in education after all that? But I remember in upper elementary, how many of you remember Miss Sexton? A bunch of hands out there. Miss Sexton taught us how to square dance, and that's where I got one of my first serious girlfriends. And I remember her giving me a kiss on the cheek and hiding us under her coat before she got on the bus to leave, and she moved away and never came back. I don't know if that was because of the kiss or what. How many of you remember the old swing sets that had the huge metal buckles on the playground? Jeff Scott was swinging that across in front of me one day, and it hit me right here, knocked me out on the ground, blood going everywhere. They had to call Mom. I thought I was going to get stitches, but I didn't. And but I was considered really cool because nobody had seen that much blood from somebody that had lived. So that was pretty cool. I remember my nephew Brian and I got in a fight on the playground one day, and we were duking it out as we did about once a week, but usually it was at home. And we were going at it, the teachers pulled us apart and sent us to the office, and on the way to the office we decided that we didn't really want to get in trouble, so we decided we were just playing. And we stopped by the office and we went on around stood by our classroom doors and waited until the bell rang at the end of recess and jumped in our rooms. And I guess that story worked out pretty good because we didn't get a paddling for it, but I don't think they bought the whole story. How many of you remember the Tigerama talent shows? Yeah, they still own those, right? I remember being up here clucking like a chicken with this big thing that made me look like a rooster in one of those gowns. And I remember the Beta Club dressing up like chickens or like raisins and doing a skit to I Heard It Through the Grapevine. I remember Jeff Smith getting a game-winning shot against Campbell at our homecoming. You know, there was some man stood there, yeah, we beat Campbell. And 2 or 3 of the Campbell players were crying, and it made me think of my elementary days. And then that same homecoming, the teachers or the cheerleaders put together this great big hoop thing. We put together like 2 or 3 hula hoops, and they decorated it with paper and they wrote stuff on it. And I was the shortest guy on the team, so I got to bust through it. So I was all pumped up. And when I hit it like this, and their hands went up, and the hula hoop went up, and my foot caught on the bottom of the hula hoop, and I fell face forward. And I come out and I broke through the hoop, and I was crawling all the way to the top of the key, and everybody was laughing. But those were good times. And the last thing, the last memory I want to share, we were at Scott City, and Brian was pitching, I was catching, and we were beating Scott City, and we weren't supposed to be beating them. And he threw a curveball, and I caught it, and the kids swung and missed. We struck him out, and I went running. I flipped the ball back to the mound. I went running down the line. Me and him jumped up and gave each other the high 10, and we were celebrating. And Coach Lawson sitting at the dugout, and he goes, "Boys, that's 2 outs." So we went back out, and he struck out the third batter. These are just some of the great times that I cherish and the memories I have here, and I'm sure all of you will be able to share stories like this because I'm sure you've had many adventures here at Briscoe that will stay with you for the rest of your life. Stories that you'll be able to share with your children and your grandchildren. But the real reason that we're here today is to celebrate your success of graduating high school. I know this is a very big day for you, but as you'll realize later, it's only a small step in the achievements of life that lie ahead of you. Looking at your class's plans for the future and the number of students attending college, I can see an exciting future for all of you coming in the near future and down the road. I'm sure many of you have thoughtfully planned your careers. You have dreams of a perfect spouse, of a perfect house that you may live in, and a car or truck of your dreams. But each of these dreams or goals that you have may be seen as a success when these times become a reality. This school and this community has provided you with a solid education, with opportunities and with experiences that have laid the groundwork so that your future dreams may be obtained. There's an old saying that it takes a village to raise a child, meaning that everyone in the community plays a role in your life, molding it and shaping it, developing you into the person that you become. I feel that Briscoe has always been a special village. One morning just a few weeks ago, I walked into our high school office, and there was a gentleman there that had worked a few days over here at Briscoe substituting, and I overheard him say, "Man, they sure are different over there." I said, "What are you talking about?" He said, "Briscoe." I took offense. "What are you talking about?" He said, "Well, I don't know, I guess the best way to say it is they're like one big happy family." And I thought that was a very big compliment to you and the school culture that you have here. I wish everyone could experience what you and I have experienced here at this small school. And I know that sometimes small town experiences can be tough, but the thing about a family is that they're always there for you no matter what. And during your time here at Briscoe, you develop friendships and relationships that will last you a lifetime. You've had the opportunity to be raised by a village of caring and loving people, and it's evident that they have done a great job. At this time, seniors, I would like to ask you to stand and turn and face the crowd, if you would, please. I want you to look at all the people that have invested time in your lives. The parents, grandparents, aunts, uncles, nieces, nephews, cousins, teachers, administrators, and friends. Each one of them each one of you has been impacted by one or many of the people who sit out there today. From the parents that spent those hours with your homework and making sure you got to school on time and cheered for you from the bleachers at the games, to the teachers who spent hours of extra time with you on projects, trips, and making sure you were doing the right thing both inside the classroom and outside the classroom. The board members, administrators, and staff of this school who faithfully do their jobs to ensure the welfare of each student and keep this school running smoothly. These are the people that have raised you. This is your village. And later today, when they congratulate you and hug you and tell you that if you ever need anything to call them, you can rest assured that they mean it. It's not just something they're saying. Seniors, if you would, let's give them another round of applause for the years they've been in school. You may be seated. In just a few more minutes, you'll be able to mark off one of the things on your to-do list, graduating school. So what's next? What does your future hold for you? I suppose it's my job to tell you how to become successful. But what is success, and what model of success do we have to look at? Well, let's take a look at a short list of some things or some people that we may consider successful. Tiger Woods, Ben Roethlisberger, the quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Risco Tigers varsity team of 2010. And Mr. Perry Clark. In 2008, Tiger Woods earned an astounding $115 million. If he were like most of us and he worked a 40-hour week for 52 weeks in a year, that would come out to $55,288.46 an hour. That's more than most of us make in a year, sometimes 2 years. The U.S. government standards of poverty level say that a family of four earning $22,000 a year or less is considered to be at poverty level. If that were Tiger Woods would only have to work 24 minutes to be above poverty level. Ben Roethlisberger is set to earn $11.6 million this NFL season. If he plays in all 16 regular season games, and we could assume that the defense is on the field for half the time of the game, he would make $22,916.67 in 1 second. So by the time he takes the first snap, drops back into the pocket, scans the receivers, and delivers the pass, he's made $100,000. Not too shabby, right? The varsity basketball team of 2010, with a record of 18-11, won a district title for the first time since 1994, won the sectional game by defeating Dora at Papa Bluffs. This was the first sectional win for Risco in the history of the school. For years to come, everyone in Risco will always know that 2010 was the year of the Tiger. The memories and efforts and the heart of this team and the memories of this season are priceless. Most of you are aware of all those people, but many of you may not be aware of Mr. Perry Clark. Most people around here remember him as Brother Perry Clark. He was a simple farmer who raised his children just outside of the town here, behind where the babies lived, up 8 ditch. A simple farmer raising his family and preaching at several small churches in our area, Brother Perry impacted more lives than he could possibly imagine. Why do we say more than he could imagine? Because he doesn't know the impact that he had on my life. I'm sure many of you out there like me, and he doesn't know that he impacted you either. Brother Perry impressed me by his attitude toward life. He was always smiling and waving at me when he was in the field behind my house when I was growing up. One day, He had to stop his tractor, and he got off, and he got in the field road, and he pulled me and Brian apart because we were fighting again. And he scolded us for fighting. And then he ended up telling our parents too. You know why? He was part of our village. He had to help raise us too. Every spring, as he began to plant that field behind our house, he would kneel next to his tractor and pray. I never really knew him personally, but I knew what kind of man that he was from his character, from his actions, and from the stories that the people told about him. I've never heard anything about the bad told about Mr. Clark. And you guys know how the village is. If there's something bad to tell, it's going to be told. Tiger Woods and Ben Roethlisberger were two megastars that have recently compromised their morals, trading in a short period of pleasure for a lifetime of hurt, not thinking of anyone else, only themselves. They were searching for that next level of satisfaction that money could not fill. Toby Mac wrote a song a few years back called Lose My Soul, based on Mark chapter 8, verse 36, which reads, "For what shall it profit a man if he gains the whole world and loses his soul?" The joy that Brother Barry Clark so willingly shared with others was evidence of his success. I really feel that he had a pretty good idea about what life was all about. While many farmers in our area were unable to survive the 70s, he survived. His crops seemed to flourish. It seemed as though they may have had a little help. Although he preached many sermons in his life, I feel that his best sermon ever was the way that he lived, not the one that he preached. I'm not sure if Brother Perry ever went to college or not, but I know that he was an educated man. He was educated in farming, he was educated in people, he was educated in what really mattered, family and people, and he invested his time in them. He was educated in love and how to share it. In my eyes, he was a truly successful man. So what is my advice to you guys about being successful? Learn from your mistakes, or be smarter and learn from other people's mistakes. Don't be afraid to try new things. Discipline yourself so that others don't have to. Know that there are consequences for every decision you make. And if you make the wrong decision, accept responsibility for it. And choose your spouse wisely. It'll be the single most important decision you'll ever make. It'll impact you for the rest of your life. But most of all, be educated. If you're going to be a farmer, know what it takes to grow a good crop and make good decisions. If you're going to be a doctor or nurse, know what you're doing. Work hard to understand the body, how it works, the diseases you'll be dealing with, especially if I'm going to end up as one of your patients. If you're going to be working in a factory, know your job, know your neighbor's job. Eventually, if you know everybody's job, you'll be a supervisor. If you're going to be a pilot, learn everything you can about the plane that you're flying and the safety involved with it. If you're going to be working in a nursing home, learn everything you can about the job. Understand the medicines, the effect they're going to have on the people, and the importance of your position and the people that you're working with. No matter what career you choose to be educated in it. Work hard and strive to be the best. But to be successful in any career life, you must be educated in people. Understand how to treat people. Understand the lasting impact of the things that you say and do each and every day. Understand that you can never unsay a cruel word or take back a harmful action. Be educated in love and how to share it with others. No matter what career you choose or the money you make or the success you have in your career, true happiness cannot be found in money or in a job. To borrow a line from a movie that I recently watched, if there's one thing that I've learned about time, it's that it always runs out. The sad part of today for you is that your time here at Risco School has run out. You stepped onto the gym floor as a Risco athlete for the last time. Soon, if you haven't already, you will have played your last baseball or softball game here at Risco. You've sat in the classroom as a student for the last time, and you've walked along L-shaped halls of Risco R2 district for your last time as a student. Your parents have seen your last report card with all A's on it. They've run out of time to see you make that game-winning play. They ran out of time to see you achieve that goal that you wanted to obtain before graduation. But although your time here has run out, there's a whole new set of times that will start today. Your time to find that perfect spouse, your time to have and spend with your children, time to spend with grandparents, parents, and other loved ones in your life. Your time to find that perfect career and make your fortune. And I'm sure that many good times are left to come in your lives, but those good times too will eventually pass. Time is a direct representation of love. You will spend your time with the ones that you love, doing the things that you love. Sometimes we take for granted that we will have all the time in the world to do all the things that we want to do, and we become too concerned about obtaining too much stuff. Sometimes we have too full of a schedule and we don't have any time left for others. Remember when I mentioned earlier I had you guys stand and look behind you, and I mentioned the time that these people invested in you? It's not really time, it's love that was invested in you. And you are graduating, you are moving out into the world as young adults, and you will soon become a part of a village somewhere. And the question is, will you spend the time and the love with others the way that these people have shared with you? Someone once said that the most important thing on your tombstone is that little dash between your birthday and your death date. That little dash represents your time here. You are currently creating the stories and the memories of that dash that will someday be on your tombstone. When I picture that little dash on Mr. Perry Clark's tombstone, I don't see a dash, because as a math teacher, a dash is a negative sign. I think that his should be a plus sign, like a little cross. Because of his love for life, his love for people, and his positive impact on the people around him, I also believe that little cross would be a symbol of all the love and a source of the love that he had to share with others. At the end of your dash, what will others say about you? Will they see a negative sign or a positive sign? Briscoe Senior Class of 2010, let me be the first to congratulate you and wish you a successful career. But most of all, I wish you a successful life. God bless you.
As with each graduating class, the top 2 overall academic students are recognized for their outstanding commitment to academics. The title of salutatorian has always been bestowed upon the individual with the second highest overall grade point average at the completion of the senior year. For the class of 2010, the honor of salutatorian goes to Mr. Josh Long.
Parents, grandparents, teachers, family, and friends, welcome and thank you for joining us today for the graduation ceremony for the class of 2010. Graduation is a time to fondly upon memories that have been made over the past years. I'm sure all of us have our own memories, which will be close to our hearts. I will always remember the dances, basketball, and baseball games, and especially the time spent with all my friends. It's sad to think that all these memories and realize that this time in our life is going to end. Graduation is also a time to look at all we've accomplished and what the future has in store for each of us. It is a serious time, a time to take a look at what path our lives are going to take once we leave behind our sky. We're going to be put in a world which seems big and so unknown to most of us. Today marks the end of an era in our lives. Years of books, dances, sports have all led to this moment. As we sit here watching our last days of high school fade and await the new adventures that tomorrow will bring, it is important that we share a moment to reflect and appreciate our accomplishments. For today's graduation marks not only our passing from the halls of Risco High, but it also shows our commitment and effort all these years. Our success in high school has led to this point, and today's graduation is proof of our commitment from that first day of kindergarten to now. We could have not ever made it to this day and to the beginning of a new stage in our lives without the support of our parents, grandparents, family, friends, and teachers. I wouldn't be who I am today without the love and support of my mom, dad, grandma, and brothers. Where we go from here, and what adventures we are meant to discover may remain unknown. But as we step out those doors today and stare into the future, what is yet to come, and what is meant to be, always remember today is a victory for all of us. No matter what tomorrow brings, always think of the memories we share as a class of 2010.
The title of valedictorian has always been bestowed upon the individual with the highest overall grade point average at the completion of the senior year. For the class of 2010, the honor of valedictorian goes to Mr. Brandon Bennett. Brandon has an overall grade point average of 3.914 on a 4-point scale.
Risco High School is a small community which prides itself upon the ideas of faith, scholarship, and service. As we come together today, we represent the graduating class of 2009-2010, a testament to the continuing dedication of the Risco community to provide an education in a time of uncertainty and change. My time at Risco has been a memorable one, and I would like to thank my parents and family for always supporting me and believing in me, even when I wasn't sure of where my life might take me. I would also like to thank my sponsors. You have truly changed my path in life, changed which I am all the better for, and I cannot adequately express my gratitude to you. I would also like to thank the faculty of Risco who has always been there for me, taking the time both in and out of class to answer any questions I might have. And finally, I'd like to thank my friends. You have taught me what community and friendship are really about, as made Risco School a place I've enjoyed attending. My heartfelt congratulations go out to all my fellow graduates who have worked hard to earn their diplomas and to be here today. Yes, as we graduate, we know that this ceremony is a commencement, not a completion. Even at this chapter of our lives closes, we are not to understand our graduation as an ending but a beginning. We are called to go forth from here today and reflect the world that what we have learned at Briscoe. And there is much in the world which requires our reflection. We seem to live in a world where the words justice and virtue have little meaning. The common maxims of the day seem to say, if it feels good, do it. But what we have to show for this line of reasoning, people have turned passenger jets into guided missiles and crashed them into buildings. Students have turned schools into firing ranges with humans being as targets. And suicide bombers have transformed their own bodies into live instruments of death. And yet, in the face of all of this, there is goodness. There is goodness more intense than the hatred and ignorance which challenge it. We have seen in the firefighters, police officers, emergency personnel who sacrifice their lives while trying to save others. We see it in our families and loved ones who have encouraged us throughout college. We see it in our teachers and faculty at Briscoe High. And we see it in ourselves. As graduates of Briscoe, we have worked hard to earn a diploma. And yet, in addition to our own efforts, we have been given much as well. We have been given the opportunity to receive a quality education, and we have been given family and friends to care for us. But more than that, in a time of uncertainty and change, we have been given the opportunity to do good in the world. We are called to go forth from here today, not simply to cut out our slice of life in the world, but to share that slice with the people around us. This is the key to understanding the Briscoe High School education which we have received. All of the things that we have learned at Briscoe, remember that being a good person is just as important as, or even more important than being a good employee or a good student. Remember that wisdom comes out only when you realize that there is more to be learned. And finally, remember that life is short and that we must take the most of it. You never know what may occur tomorrow. So live each day, do the best you can, which in the end is why we're all here today. Enjoy your success, for you have earned it. But more than that, do good by sharing that success in service to others. I wish all of you the best of luck in all you do. Thank you.
At this time, we would like to say a special thanks to our fellow classmates, Brittany and to Miss Kennedy for preparing the senior video for the class of 2010.